That looks like on time to me. So, I don't know what to tell y'all. But, yeah. Super Bowl Sunday, baby. What do you want? I figured... Sorry, I'm actually editing a video that I'm going to upload tonight. A beer review that I recorded just before this. Just because I wanted to do like a kind of a Super Bowl themed kind of beer. So I am almost done editing that. Let everybody kind of fill in. Probably going to have some guests popping in. We're going to hang out for about an hour. And then just head out and watch the game. Because I want to just relax and watch the team I want to win, which is honestly either team. I have no horse in the race. I'm totally cool with either team winning, but I do have a favorite. And I think that favorite, the one I think is going to win, is actually the one that I probably actually want to win. Since I have no rooting interest, I don't know why I'm picking this team, so that's probably the edge that I'm giving him. So yeah, so there you go. There you go. You guys, it's literally watched in real time how long it takes me to edit a beer review, which is usually, if I wasn't talking, it'd be quicker. Usually it's about 30 to 60 seconds to edit a beer review. Okay, we already have a little bit of comments in here. We got Brian Klein chiming in. What's up, Matt? Unfortunately, I'm at work drinking a Coke Zero. That's Coke Zero right there, brother. So, I'm Team Coke Zero. Cherry Coke Zero is like crack. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. You know, Super Bowl's great, but, you know, you gotta work, you gotta do whatever. I ended up doing a bunch of chores today, like a crazy amount. Like, I went to sleep today, or last night, you know, whatever. Woke up, there was like a half a foot of snow on the ground. Like, unannounced. Like, usually you're getting like a half a foot of snow. Like, the weather's like, hey, just so you know, stuff's gonna suck tomorrow, so you better prepare. And like on a TV, on an app, on Facebook, it doesn't matter. Someone's gonna mention it. Or if you open the weather, I open the weather a couple times a day just to see plans and open it up. Like last night, I went to sleep. Before I went to sleep, I was like, check the weather. I was like, okay, whatever, nothing. I wake up and there's like half foot of snow on the ground, and then like I was like, okay, well that sucks. Now I gotta snow, like I live in a farm. My driveway's not 3 feet long, so I got to snowball all that, and it turns out I ended up having to drive like an hour away to go pick up a table, and yeah, it was crazy. So I ended up going crazy today. So I'm kind of looking forward to the Super Bowl. Gonna hang out, relax with y'all for a little bit here beforehand. Trim my beard. I'm not sure if I'm down with how it looks yet, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, so yeah. Adam, what's going on? Good evening. Congratulations on your Angel handball game. Also, hoping Arsenal beat United to the Europa Cup place. Actually, I kind of hope Arsenal end up in Champions League. We're kind of there. Yeah. So, or Europa at least, but I think there's a chance we could sneak into Champions League. You know, obviously Arsenal didn't pick anybody up in deadline day. During the transfer window, we let a bunch of people go, but all the people we let go weren't playing, and all our youngsters have been really, really good. So, you know, who knows? We can catch lightning in a bottle. We'll see what's what. And what's going on, Adam? Haven't talked to you in a bit. Hopefully you're well, brother. Clayton saying, what's up, Matt? Go Bengals. I don't really care either, but I'm a Bears fan, so I have to root against Stafford. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Well, I don't have to, but I am. A guy who loves beer. What's going on, homie? Cheers, buddy. Matt Lieberman chiming in saying, annual handball game. That's the best comment ever. Oh, those Brits with their humor. And it's Matthew Hogan. Don't upset the Cronkies and go against LA, Matt. A Rams win mean Arsenal might be able to weasel some more transfer money out of Stan. You could argue both sides of the coin here. Literally. Both sides of the coin. You could be like, if the Rams win, Cronky's like, I won. I'm satisfied and not spending a yo. Or you could be like, the Rams lose, and he's like, I'm sick and tired of this losing bullshit. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I just made $9 billion because I hosted a Super Bowl in the stadium I own. I'm going to spend a shit ton of money on Arsenal just so I could win fucking something. So you could argue both sides of the coin on this one. So I don't know which ones would actually be which. So we'll see what's what. But I mean, man, you know, the Rams have it. Like, they're on paper. On paper. Not even on paper. They're the team, man. You know, you think about it. I mean, quarterback Burrow versus Stafford. I would say at the moment that's a push. Maybe a slight edge to Stafford for his longevity and years and savviness. But Joe Burrow is so hot right now, and he is literally the Terminator. Like, he's like, I got sacked 40 times, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, if Stafford got sacked 5 times in a game, they're losing. There's no way. If Stafford got sacked 5+ times in this game, the Rams are losing. If Burrow gets sacked 5+ times in this game, that's another game for Joe Burrow. That's like, par for the course for me. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like, he's just a machine, that guy. You know, running back, obviously, you know, Cincinnati has the lead in that one. The Rams have a creative offense and a great running scheme, but I think Joe Mixon is actually woefully underrated as far as running back goes. Personal, you know, he's kind of a piece of shit personally, but as far as running back goes, you know, pretty good. Wide receivers, I mean, Rams got to be, you know, sorry, Jamar Chase. You know, I mean, I think Tyler Boyd is great. Higgins is great, but Cooper Kupp is just a monster. And, Odell's back to straight Odell. What's the other guy? Oh, God, I can't believe him on there. So, you know, it is what it is. If the Bengals had the Hushman Zulu, whatever guy, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah. But defensive-wise, that's where the Rams really take the cake. I mean, the Bengals have a really nice kind of team-oriented defense, but, I mean, Aaron Donald alone is just insanity. Complete insanity. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Unfortunately, I think, Adam's saying, unfortunately, I think West Ham has 4th place sewn up. Got a 5 on Newcastle being relegated. I don't know, man. What's his name was on crutches today. Their new signing, right? Or was that Newcastle's guy? No, it was West Ham's guy. And I don't know, man. I mean, you know, I don't know. What, they tie? They tied today, right? They tied, whatchamacallit? Wolves? And West Ham tied today, so I don't know. We'll see. But if you look at the table right now, I mean, obviously they're ahead, but I mean, almost every team, we have 2 games in hand. Yeah, see, that's as Matt Hogan says, but Arsenal have 3 games in hand on West Ham. You know what I mean? And a 2-point difference. That's the thing. Like, you just look at the table. Now, I don't want to be that guy saying games in hand. That I don't like playing that game. That's the guy who says, 5 minutes left in the football game. Oh, I won. The bet's over. Give me my money. I don't want to be that guy. But games in hand. You know what I mean? That's the big deal. Do I think Arsenal are going to get in the Champions League? No. Do I think they're going to get in the Europa League? Yes. Is there a chance they make it to Champions League level? Yes. Especially if they... I'm all in on this Arsenal team. Like, I am all in on Arteta. I am all in this team. This is like, you know, it's like anybody's out there who's played FIFA or whatever. You have 2 routes that you can go in the game. And that's either buy a bunch of really good players and game the system, or you buy a bunch of really young players, really high potential, and you play the shit out of the game. And after 3 or 4 years, all those players are hot shit. Or in a good way, not hot garbage, hot shit. And you're awesome. And Arsenal's kind of doing that. That's what they did. They kind of went all in with this super young team. You know, their oldest players, like, you know, besides the like that Aubameyang's gone, you know, their old player, right, their old guy is Partey. You know what I mean? Or like, you know, or Xhaka. You know, they're like in their late 20s. You know, so, you know, if they win, if they get in the league this year, great. You know, Europa or bust at this point, but it could be Champions League. But moving forward, it should be just killer. Got to get some people under contract. We'll see what's what. Clayton says, did something stupid last night. Drank too many. My brother-in-law and we kind of always wanted to try Utopias, and in a liquor store 5 blocks from me had it over retail. Well, we did it. Oh, nice. How much did you pay? You got to let us know. So retail is $250. My guess is you're probably in the 3s. So let me know, one, what you paid, and two, what did you think? Because I think Utopias is great, but you don't want to think about it as just regular beer. Eric saying, Matt, London is blue. Please don't block me. Why is London blue? Why? Oh, Chelsea? No, a war criminal owns that place. Come on now. Roman Abramovich should be in freaking a gulag somewhere. Clayton says, I enjoyed it way more than I thought, but kind of bummed I contributed to them asking over retail. Yeah, but you got to try it. It is what it is. And honestly, it's not that bad of a price point, even over retail, because it keeps. It's not like you have to you open it and you have to finish it. So it's not like a beer where you kind of open it and, it's got to be drank. So back to Matt saying, yeah, Arsenal three games in hand, West Ham with 2 other point difference, but they're tough games. Need to start with Brentford win next week. And yeah, I mean, at this point when you're fighting, they're all tough games, but that's also all the other teams have tough games, man. You gotta win the games you're supposed to win. And go from there. Carson, you sneaky son of a bitch. I saw that beer mail coming. It says, I'm sorry, is this a Super Bowl hang? It is a Super Bowl hang. Pre-Super Bowl hang. We can talk about anything we want. We don't have to talk about foosball. Window beer review. Thomas says, hi, everyone. Please like and share as is want to do. Kevin Payne, enough about the soccer. Let's talk beer. What's everyone drinking? I'm enjoying a Czech Pils from Three Heads. I am enjoying boat beer from Carton Brewing. Boat beer is a session IPA at 4.2%. Y'all know my love for session beers. This honestly is by far, in a way, one of the best session hazies, period. Not to give Mr. Carton any kind of, stuff to, yeah. But this is just so good. I mean, 4.2%. Drinks like 6 and change. Always a nice bittering on it. Can usually find it fresh. I picked this up today. You're talking about one canned 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So that's not too bad. And I want to say $11 for a 4-pack. Can't go wrong there. Clayton. Oh, 300's not bad then, dude. For Utopias, because you paid $250 is $300. You're $50. I've seen it for way more than that. I wouldn't be too angry with. I mean, you can get Utopias for like a little bit over $100 if you game it right. I wouldn't pay $300. Maybe if I was hanging out with a friend and I was a little tipsy and the place around the corner I could walk to and buy it, I would buy it. And in your position exactly, I would probably do it again. But yeah, that's not too bad over retail. Carson says, I caught some of the Norwich City game yesterday. And there was some crazy fun near misses. Great first girl from Sterling. Yeah. I hate Manchester City and Chelsea. I'm drinking Finbacks Between the Dead. Okay, I haven't had a Finback beer in so long. So long, man. Like, I find them on the shelves now by me. But they're really, really pricey. So I just don't buy them, and Finback doesn't date their cans, so I don't feel like going in and like having to like find all the dates. Like, you look up a brewery and you're like, okay, and then you gotta scroll through their Instagram to looking for the picture of the can that you want to buy and then find it. Yeah. So I haven't had a lot of their stuff because of that. Had their barrel-aged red velvet last night. It was easily top 5 best pastries out so far. Oh, nice. Gosh darn, it was supposed to be a surprise beer mail. Now the cat's out of the bag. It's a good one. Get excited. Ooh, hot damn. Yeah, Carson sent off a beer mail, as he does quite often, and I have that informed delivery for like all my shipping services, so I saw it pop up. I was like, ooh. I could feign surprise if you want. We could do that. That's such a good beer. That's a fun game. Whose owner has committed more human rights violations, Chelsea or Man City? That's what I'm saying, man. Like it's like literally like I think Chelsea. I think it is, because I think Roman Abramovich has probably like been in person, like hand murdered people. The Man City ownership might have been part and parcel to actions that ended up killing people, but I could see Roman Abramovich like sneaking up behind somebody and actually like slitting their throat and laughing. Not even laughing, just walking away ice cold, like nothing even happened. So, yeah. And then we have Clayton chiming in saying, I'm drinking a gooseberry sour from Triptych. There you go. What's going on, Sean?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just hanging out, getting ready for a little bit of football. How about you?
Me too. Been cooking. Not really. I guess not too much cooking. Like, I saw your Facebook post, and I'm pretty much in agreement with you. I don't have
Yeah.
Either of them could win, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I want a good game, and whenever somebody wins, I feel like, yay, that person won, yay.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you, guy.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I really want Aaron Donald. And what's your prediction? Give me your prediction. I already have. I know mine.
Did I just mute? Hold on. Stop it, Siri. Okay, there we go.
What's your prediction?
I'm gonna say Rams.
I want to score.
A score. Trying to think. 38-16. Wait, does that math work? Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it works. I can hear myself in your background.
What'd you say?
I can hear my voice in your background. When I talk, I hear an echo of myself.
Oh, let me change. I just got a new laptop, and I'm doing this for my office. Hold on.
Now, when you first came on and I was I couldn't hear. I don't hear an echo now. So
yeah, because it was doing different mic, different speakers.
Okay. My prediction is, so I think the Rams are going to win. I really kind of like, I want Aaron Donald to get a ring because he deserves it because he's the best football player in the universe. And I want Matthew Stafford to get a ring. So my prediction is Bengals 35, Rams 28.
Wait, you just said you think the Rams are going to win, and you just said the Rams have a lower score.
No, I said I think the Rams are going to win. But my prediction is that the Bengals are going to win.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, I think the Rams, let's put it this way, let me rephrase it. The Rams should win. But for some reason, I think the Bengals, there's some kind of like, some randomness that you can't explain. I don't know why they're winning what they're winning, and they keep winning, and I'm just going to say they're going to win.
That works. I think it's... Because I went up to Mike's last night, and I never gamble. Like, I don't even buy scratch tickets. But we can't gamble in Massachusetts. But if you go to New Hampshire, you can use the DraftKings app. And I was like, I'm already up in New Hampshire. We were shopping before we went to his house, and I'm like, all right, I'll just do it. So I bet on the Rams, and I think I bet on the coin toss. So let's hope they get heads.
So my buddy passed away a couple years ago, but he owned a bar in Pennsylvania in the Poconos, and that's where I used to live. I used to live in Gouldsboro, which is like the heart of the Pocono Mountains. Like, you like drove out my driveway, you made a left, you drove 3 miles on this big sign, like you're at the highest point of the Pocono Mountains. It's like, anyway, he had a bar there, and he was a good friend, so I'd always go there for football. Like, Sundays, that was my spot. Like, if I was going to go out to a bar and watch football, I'd always go to my buddy's spot. And there was a group of us that would always hang out there, and we gambled a lot. Like, I used to gamble a lot. I was really good at it, too. I never lost, like, ever. Like, I mean, like, for the year. Like, every year I always ended up in the black. But I never bet tons. It was like, 50 here, 25 there, maybe $100 if I was feeling spicy. But this is all, like, bookie shit, not like DraftKings. Right. But anyway, but for the Super Bowl, we'd go ape shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, we could play boxes and bet shit and bet a bunch of prop bets and all that kind of stuff we do all every year. We'd always bet the coin toss. Always bet the coin toss. And in the one year we were sitting there, it was the Steelers versus the Cardinals Super Bowl, the one where James Harrison or St. Antonio Holmes caught the touchdown in the corner at the last second or whatever. So we bet the coin toss on that. And he would close his bar and have like a Super Bowl party. So we could the bar was closed, and it was like you pay $20 and you get in and you could all you eat and drink for $20 or something like that. And he'd have like mad gambling going on, like super illegal, like crazy amount of gambling going on. And in the one year it was packed. And the one year we're like, let's see how much money we can bet on a coin toss. So like we walked to talk to everybody when you were at the party, be like, you want to bet money on a coin toss? We ended up putting $5,000 on a coin toss. Now, granted, to be fair, the one out of that 5,000, 3,000 was one person. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, I'm betting $3,000 on a coin toss anyway, so I'll throw it in yours thing. And because there's a degenerate gambler guy that like a guy made like $500,000 a year kind of guy, like where he could bet that and that would be like me betting $10, and we lost.
We lost.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun though. It was like because it wasn't like I think I put 50 in, but in my brain I'm like I have $5,000 on the coin toss. You know what I mean? Then you lose and you're like, God damn it. But yeah, no, betting's fun, man. I used to enjoy the crap out of it. I had like a system for like basically I'd be like, okay, how much money I want to bet today? I'd be like $100. I'm like, okay. So I'd bet like whatever, $50 a game on the early game. So I bet 2 games, and then whatever I won from that game, I could keep from those games. I could keep betting. So if I lost 100, and I wouldn't bet anymore for the weekend, I had to self control to do that.
See, that's good. But like a lot of people don't.
Yeah, I never had that. Like, oh, I gotta get it back. I was never that person. So, but if I won $100, I'd be like, okay, now I got $200 because I'm okay with 100. So now I got 200. Now I bet $200, and I just keep going and going and going. But yeah, I was lucky. I was never been that person. Whether it be like gambling, addictions, drugs, alcohol, those kind of things. I've never been like out partying one night and be like, I gotta start that again at 5 a.m. Otherwise, life doesn't make sense. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm gonna do that for a while. I'll take a break. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I don't. Yeah. I've never been that person. So, okay, comments. Carson saying hand murdered. Ha ha ha. That's. I was saying I was talking about soccer, and a couple of the owners are really, really shady, but one of the owners owns Chelsea. His name's Roman or Abramovich, and they were talking about like Adam from Mercy Bears. He was like he was like, oh, who do you think killed the most people in the Premier League ownership? Because there's a lot of shady characters. And I said, well, they all probably killed a lot of people, but the guy from Chelsea has probably physically hand murdered people. Like not like it made it. He hasn't made a decision that has like dominoed to where somebody might have lost their life. He's like physically like come up behind somebody and slit their throat. Like that's that guy. That's why he said hand murdered. Ha ha ha. Okay, but here's the deal. As a Jags fan, fuck Jalen Ramsey. Let's go Bengals. I can get that, but also at the same time, you guys got a bunch of draft capital, so it doesn't suck for you. I'm eating my veggies with an other half DDH broccoli. There you go.
Nice.
Sup, boys? That's Mike Bernardo.
What's going on?
Adam's like, no, Abramovich wouldn't have sullied his hand bribe gangsters with the 1990s. Easier to put out a hit when you have hitmen on retainer, but I think he would get off on killing. You know what I mean? Like, he would want to do it. He would be like, I want to do this. Plus, what is he going to go to jail for? He's Roman Abramovich. It's Russia. He's like, they're not going to put him in jail. He could literally slit his throat on live national television and be like, I guess it happened. He's not going to
legit is like it's like a gangster mobster thing in like soccer?
Well, no. What ownership of? No, not soccer. I mean, there's hooliganism in soccer. It's not that big anymore, but it still exists. Ownership in soccer is basically a bunch of super crazy rich people, like crazy rich people, like crazy, like think about the richest person you know, and like they could like just basically murder like fucking probably Bezos and get away with it. That kind of rich. Like Bezos is a joke to them as far as money. Like when they say Bezos is the richest man on earth, he's not. We're talking like
richest man on legal paper.
Well, Roman Abramovich, I think he owned like what it was. I don't think it was oil. I think it was a nickel or something. He owned a resource company in Russia. So basically, he owned like material resources in Russia. So he was like one of the richest people in Russia, and he bought Chelsea. Saudi oil people bought Manchester City. You know what I mean? Like there's super crazy, like they're worth $350 billion kind of people. You know, so they probably be like, yes, kill those people. They're bothering us. You know, those kind of people. Anyway, Carson, Mike Bernardo, love that one. Kevin Payne, have to root for an old AFL team, Cincy, but I think LA, god damn it.
LA, there
we'll
we
win.
go.
Yeah. La will win. Sup, dudes?
Hey,
Sup,
Kyle. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Kyle. Hey, what's going on, Ryan? Adam chiming in, saying, No beer for me, as was at a beer festival yesterday and up early tomorrow. So it's Pepsi Max Cherry this evening.
What's Pepsi Max?
I forget. We have it over here. I forget what Pepsi Max is.
I don't.
It might be. It might be the. I don't think it's diet. I think it might be their zero.
Oh, okay.
Maybe or something. It's an older thing.
Yeah, it's just low calorie and sugar free.
So, and then we go to John here and says, "Hey Matt, have you had the EQ Ruwaka? Thoughts on Ruwaka hops?" Do I have a? I did. I bought a 4-pack of it, and I drank them all without reviewing them because it was too tasty. So
that's how you know a beer is so good if you're a beer reviewer. Like you drink them all before you even have a chance to review it.
Yeah,
I've done that so many times.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. What do I have EQ in here? I got one EQ in my fridge.
I do this with the beer I'm drinking, Notch Standard. I just crush these, and I just don't
I
even
have
think about
the Hop Layers Pale Ale. I don't know what's in this. Oh man, this is old too. Wow, I didn't think it was that old. It's from November. What was I gonna say? EQs. I mean, we talked about this in our private chat, but EQ's prices are now to the point where I'll purchase them. Like I purposely wouldn't purchase them because their prices were insane. They've always been pretty decent at the brewery, but with the pandemic and whatnot, I don't go to breweries. So I actually went to a brewery today for the first time in like 5 months, or something like that. Just because I was coming back from picking up a table we bought on like Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, and I stopped at that Buttsville place that we all went to just to pick up a 4-pack. I had a beer and picked up a 4-pack, and then you know what I mean. But their prices have gone down, so I was like, okay, fine. I went in and boom, they had their Photon, which is one of my favorite low ABV beers. It was my favorite low ABV. Like I think it's like 4.8 or 4.9. And it was one of my favorite ones for the longest time. A year or so before the pandemic, it was just bad. Like, I just didn't like it at all. Something changed, and I'm like, eh. And then I haven't really had an EQ beer the whole time during the pandemic, almost the whole time, unless someone sent it to me. And that beer hit the market here, hit the shelves, but it was $19.99 for a 4-pack of a 4% pale ale. I'm not paying that. And then the other day I went and it was whatever it was. What is it, $15 or something? $14, $15? I was like, grab it, and goddamn, was it better than I've ever had,
really?
remember. Yeah. Oh my God, it was so good. Oh my God, it was so good. So I'm back on EQ now. I had that Rawaka one. I think Rawaka hops. I think all like New Zealand. I think New Zealand hops are like the best hops in the universe. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I would say so.
And I don't know if this is the hop. I don't know if it's that hop because I know the Photon exhibited a similar thing, but it had this really cool, like hyper. It's like melon, like honeydew melon / grass clippings thing, which is like super, super like my wheelhouse. That's like my favorite thing. If you can give me like honeydew melon and fresh grass clippings, my like wiener gets hard immediately. And it had that going on for me, so I was a big fan.
Nice. I haven't had like EQ. I think with the reason because we started getting it probably only during the pandemic, and I remember I bought one 4-pack once, and they didn't have the price like when I picked it up, and they rang it up, and I was like, holy shit! And I was like, well, I'm not gonna be doing that for a while.
Yeah.
I really wonder what they did. Like, do you think they just called like they said to the distributor, can like you tell the stores to not be assholes?
I don't know. I don't know, or they finally got smart and lowered their price at wholesale. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's my guess, because I don't like, because let's put it this way, the same, like, I know who carries them as far as a distributor, and the same people who carry them carry Alchemist, and the Alchemist stuff is not expensive. It's
like the same. Alchemist is pretty much almost the same cost as a brewery.
Well, no, it's like it's a little more. It's like 13. What is it? $13.50 at the brewery for all their 4-packs. I think it is, or $12.50, or what is it?
$12.99.
12. Okay, so 13. Yeah. I can get Alchemist here at 16. It's usually like $15.99. Yeah. which is fine. That's to me, that's from where it's coming from. The whole, I'm okay with that. So they're obviously not, that the distributor's not tacking on a ton. There's a couple of places that get it and charge crazy prices, but you can tell from bottle shop, you're like, okay, you look at the lowest price you find and be like, okay, so, well, that's kind of what it probably should be. And so I'm guessing EQ just lowered their price point. They were probably like, my guess is they're probably like, we're such hot shit that we'll just sell our beer the price we sell it at to the distributor, and they'll be happy to have it. They're just lucky to even have the ability to have our beer, that they'll have no problem selling it. And then after a year and a half of it sitting on warm shelves and nobody fucking buying it, like I would always look. I would go in and I'd see like almost year-old EQ beers on a shelf. Like I'm just like, you're doing your fucking business. Like, people are going to see that shit and not want to buy your stuff. Because, hyper beer nerds like me and you, sure, we kind of keep our fingers on the pulse of stuff. But, random beer people be like, I've heard this brewery's really good, and just drink it without knowing dates or not knowing anything, and be like, this is the worst beer I've ever had. Screw this place.
Right.
I don't know what people are talking about. That shit catches up over time. And I don't know what they did, but they lowered the price. So good on them, Yeah. As much as I'll say fuck them for charging crazy, good on them for making it better. You know what I mean? I will flip the script and say, I think Photon for $16 a 4-pack is worth every penny. And cheaper than that, even better. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm just pooping on them for fun. You just got to make shit reasonable.
Exactly.
Yeah. What else is new, dude? How's are you guys, the basement is kind of done now, you're back to putting everything together? Or is that because that's you and Mike are in the basement, right? Or were you in Mike's basement?
No, that was Mike's house that we recorded in. So ours is, they still have the they put the floors in finally, but they keep saying COVID, blah blah blah. It's going through. So the floors are in. They're supposed to come this week. Well, actually, yeah, probably this week to do trim and paint. Then they're going to they have to cut out like an egress window to make it legal or whatever.
Yes,
to make
I know.
the basement legal. But I'm like, it's been snowing and it's been freezing. Like, how is that even? How are you guys even do that? Like, well, we'll figure it out. I'm like, okay, I guess so. But we started this last May, and my guess is it's probably going to be this May, maybe.
Yeah.
Done. It sucks. It's just been such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, especially when you have it kind of like all planned out and stuff like that, and you have a timeline in your brain, and it's not like not that you need a studio, but you like using your space and then to get back in there and stuff like that.
Jesus, look, who's at my front door? Actually, can you hold on a second? Someone's at my front door, and it's
Is Kyle gonna walk in again? Anyway, chat stuff. Let's see what's going on. Clayton says, by the way, hats off to you reviewers. My brother-in-law wanted us to make a video of us trying the Utopias. Ended up being 25 minutes long. LOL. Took like 10 hours to post to our local craft beer Facebook page. Nice. There you go. Nah, it's more you do something, easier it gets. So if you do something once, it's always going to be difficult regardless of what you do. But, it's just, practice makes perfect, I guess. Watching it next day, it was pretty cringe. We weren't sober. Oh, dude. I deleted all my drunk videos, I think, which I'm pretty sad about. I had a folder on my computer, actually. Oh, it's not hooked up right now. I have 2 computers and 2 monitors, like 2 separate computers, because I like to do different shit. And I switched one over to cable TV so I can have the game and pregame on and all that stuff. But anyway, I had a drunken mess folder, and I've posted a couple over the years. This is goof. But yeah, hey, if someone says they drink beer and they've never been drunk, I kind of think they're a liar. So we've all been there. It happens. And when you're drunk enough to go spend $300 on a bottle of Utopias on a whim, and then come back and then set up and film something, I think it's worth enjoying that moment. Let's put it that way. But yeah, what are your guys' predictions on the game? Let's hear. I know some of you people are in there talking about, LA this, Bengals that. My prediction is Bengals 35, LA 28. That is my That is my prediction. I actually think I have a review I got to post, and I actually have all my Super Bowl stuff in that, so I got to get that started. See if I can do that now. While Sean. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. I don't know if you guys watched the video. I'm putting in, or watched the video yet. I'm putting in a she shed, like a outdoor office. And I'm doing it via shed. I'm buying like a shed, an Amish shed, and I gotta like run electrical to it, and drywall, paint, do the whole nine to it, and basically gonna move this office. This is gonna be my son Micah. He's almost gonna be a year old in St. Patty's Day. This is gonna be his bedroom because this is the only room we have available. And but I also need an office, not just for the YouTube stuff. Like that's great, like YouTube's fun and all, but I do need an office. I work from home a lot. I do a lot of side gig and stuff when it comes to like graphic design and audio engineering and all that kind of. I just need an office. So at first I was gonna addition on the house is not a possibility. We have a barn. I was gonna put it in a barn, but I was like, do I really want to put it in a barn? And then I decided on putting that shed out there, and that video that I posted yesterday. It's basically building an office in a shed. So I am like, I don't know, you guys, like I'm all screwed up. Like I got cuts all over my hands. Like everything's all fucked up in my body from basically just cutting down all this trees and shrubs and all that stuff in the area I want to put the shed in, and just kind of kicking my ass. Oh yeah, Clayton says he watched the brush removal. That first set of lines, he said trees. He corrects it over here. Trees is giving you some trouble with that mower. It's not so much the trees, man. There was two things in there. There was this crazy vine, a couple of crazy vines, and these crazy pricker bushes that like grew and weaved in throughout everything. So I cut the main portions of the trees kind of down, but when I was going to yank them out, those vines are super, super strong. So I would pull and I cut and I pull and I cut and I'd be like, screw it. I just try to start ramming with a mower. In a perfect world, I would have put chains on the mower, and that would have did it, but I didn't want to dig up the lawn too much, because if you go forward and it gets stuck, it spins and doesn't ruin the lawn that much if you don't have chains on. So, but I got it done. It was actually that whole time-lapse video. I cut down all that stuff and removed it all. I think I did it in like a little less than 2 hours. So it was a pretty good session. Clayton saying I had 34-31 Bengals a week ago, sticking with it. So he's hauling Rams. Felix from up Canada way. What's going on, homie? Cheers to you. And do we have any action on the game today? No. I've quit betting, kind of, for the most part. I used to bet a lot when I was, when I say younger, I mean my, like, late 20s, early 30s. I did a lot of betting, and I would always bet in Super Bowl and stuff like that. But it doesn't really interest me anymore, Free money does, but losing money sucks, too. So, yeah. 'Tis what it is. Okay, let's see if I can get this going now. Another 20 minutes. We'll hang out for another 20, 30 minutes. And then go set up and hang out and watch the game with my wifey. Gonna need a new beer soon. That's tasty, man. That's so tasty. Let's see. So I want to upload this video, but I do not. I'm gonna put my headphones down. I don't want to use my internet. But not saying my phone's in low data mode. That's not good. It's not in low data mode. Let's see what we got going on here. See, and that's the thing Clayton talking about here. He's like, I'm in some squares for money, and beer is payout. Double Barrel Assassin is the big winner. See, that's the man. Squares are so fun because it's not like props and squares are the best. So we use this. Always used to do squares. I mean, that was the big one. For those that don't know what squares are, it's basically you have a grid, 0 through 9, 0 through 9, going down, and you pick a box, whatever the box is, money wise, and then before the game, numbers are assigned at random, so 0 through 9. So you don't know what your numbers are basically, and then if you're at the end of each whatever quarter or score change, there's a couple different rules. You hit if your box is there, as you hit, so you get a certain amount of payout. Usually the biggest ones are ends of the quarters, halftime, and obviously final score. There's bigger payouts for those, and then usually neighbors on those boxes get stuff. Those are always fun. And props. I'm a huge props guy. First person to score a touchdown. Will there be a safety? You know what I mean? Will this person over under a certain amount of yards? Even national anthem we would bet. Over under our national anthem. That stuff was always super duper fun. But I just don't do it anymore.
All right, I'm back.
Who was it?
It was a friend dropping off some Valentine's stuff from his son to my daughter and whatnot.
Wait, so your daughter's boyfriend's father?
It's like her cousin, essentially.
Oh well, the way you mean it sounded like it's
no,
like
yeah, no.
The way you said it was like the father was dropping off Valentine's Day stuff or something like that.
He's 2, she's 7, so yeah, no.
Okay. Well, you got to start sometime, I guess. Oh man.
And then a friend earlier dropped off because when you were talking about the Alchemist, he dropped off 3-4 packs of Hetty because he just came back from Still this week, and I was like, all right, I guess it's gonna be a fun Super Bowl.
I cannot wait to go back to Vermont, man.
Man, I just love being there. It's just like even like put the breweries aside, like it's just gorgeous. It's
beautiful,
just so tranquil. It's just so peaceful.
And honestly, like since it's so vast and so wide open that like if you go there like in the spring, summer, fall before ski season, like Airbnbs are like nothing.
Yeah,
like nothing. Like they're like $80 or $100 for a night, maybe. You know what I mean? And really nice places, like really nice. And it's just like, oh man, it's so every Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. I'm by myself in this nice rustic little place, and it's cheap AF. And I'm like 5 minutes away from all this great beer. And that's like when me and my wife went to Vermont for our honeymoon, and we stayed at a couple different places. We stayed at a place in Burlington and outside. We stayed above Stowe. A couple different places, and every place is not super expensive, really nice. Every place you go into it has like crazy beers on draft. Like the strip mall pizzeria has Hill Farmstead on draft and stuff. When we went, you know what I mean? It's like, what the hell's going on right now?
Yeah, it's so good. And just I think like Burlington and Stowe are like just obviously it's like Burlington is probably beer mecca, right? But then Stowe has Alchemist. But I think people just skip over things like Von Trapp, which is sort of a shame.
Yeah, I mean that's my favorite place to go because
me too.
Because the beers are great, the food is really good.
The atmosphere, sitting outside like in the summer, springtime, just looking at like the Green Mountains, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like for those like it's weird because you drive there and the parking lot's just a big like gravel pit. But then, like, the whole right side of the building, it's like a classic kind of pine-ish looking lodge, like just a big, what you'd expect from like a pine, not dark wood, like lighter wood lodge. And the whole right side is just like picnic tables and all that kind of stuff. And you're kind of like on the edge of the Green Mountains. Like, what is there? The big ski resort is like right above it, right? And it's awesome. And you could go to Lawson's, like Alchemist, and Von Trapp. That's like a 20-minute drive, like to go to all of them combined.
Yeah,
like it's not far.
Lawson's a little bit further.
That's what it's. Well, no. Basically, what I'm saying is it's 5 minutes from Alchemist to Von Trapp, and then it's
Yeah.
15 minutes to
Oh,
Lawson's.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
still
Like,
yet to go to Lawson's. That's still
yeah.
on my list.
And then there's awesome, super awesome, like beer bars. There's
Doc
the
Ponds, right near the
Doc
Alchemist.
Ponds is like
Their burgers are
awesome.
amazing.
And like last time when I went to Doc Ponds, who did I go to? It was Keith, I think I went to Doc Ponds with. Like I was just ripping like I think I ripped like a 2005 old stock out of there. Like I was ripping all these crazy old beers out of Doc Ponds, and there's like, once you get up at the stove, there's like what's the Prohibition Pig and like Blackback. That's another one that's really good. There's really good restaurants with really great tap lists, and it's just really pretty. And the beer's awesome, and it all doesn't suck.
Yeah. It's probably like the most like closely, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like closely compacted, closely combined beer like trip, like because like if you go to Massachusetts, you're going all different spots, right? But if you go to Vermont, you're Stowe, Burlington. Like there's so much concentrated like breweries that you can hit.
See, I would exclude Burlington only because Burlington's like 45 minutes away. Like it's just a little bit too far away. Like you don't just hop to Burlington. Like you're like we're gonna go to Burlington and then we're gonna come back. You know what I mean? Like or vice versa. You're in Burlington. Let's go to Stowe and then we'll come back. It's not, but the whole Stowe area. Like the best way I could put it is if you've ever been to a really kind of like saturated beer town, like, okay, let's say like Brooklyn. You know, Brooklyn, you get like Brooklyn, Queens, you got like Finback. You know what I mean? You have Other Half. You have rest in peace, freaking the place that me and Keith love so much that I can't think of the name right now. Like a bunch of breweries. Just make almost all the buildings just like trees instead of buildings. Like it's like that like everything's kind of close. But instead of it being like a bustling urban escape of just huge buildings, it's like a little bit of buildings and then trees to the road. Yep. And then you take the road to the next little place full of stuff. And I can't wait to go back. And then there's like Hill Farmstead. It's like it's great because it's not super far away. If you're staying in Stowe, it's like 45 minutes away. So it's like, again, you could that's why I always stay in Stowe, because it's like you go there, hang out there. Okay, this day we go to Burlington, this day we go to Hill Farmstead. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're showing all the celebrities at the Super Bowl right now in the pregame.
Oh, I haven't been watching any of the pregame stuff yet.
Yeah.
I guess The Rock's doing a promo. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean.
The Rock?
Yeah, he's doing like a promo, I guess, before the game starts.
What do you mean by promo?
Sounds like he's gonna literally go out on the 50-yard line with a microphone and just
announces run for presidency or some shit?
I don't know. He's been posting the last couple of days, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm finally making my dream, the dream of me, like, you know, playing football. Obviously not that, but sort of making my dream come true." And he's like, "I'm gonna be on the 50-yard line, hyping people up." So I don't know if he's gonna announce the game,
or maybe he's gonna be part of the coin toss or something.
Maybe like he posted pictures, and one of them looked like he was doing like his famous what is it, the Rock is cooking thing. I'm a terrible wrestling fan. I can't even think of the quote.
I'm kind of interested to see what he's gonna be like as president.
Do you think he's actually going to be president?
If someone said you have to bet a substantial amount of money, yes or no, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson becomes president one day, I would, without hesitation, say yes.
At this point, like, if Trump never became president, I'd be like, no, that's crazy. But the fact that Donald Trump became president, yeah, okay, sure. I'll believe anybody would become president at this point.
Well, that's not true.
Not anyone, but you know what I mean.
No, well, I mean, show me somebody that's level-headed and mild-mannered and very, very kind of just a really good person. There's no way that person becomes president. Level-headed and intelligent, fuck that noise. It's like my family. We're my wife makes fun of my family all the time because we're the family that, like, when we get together, you know, every 15 to 20 minutes, all of us get louder and louder and louder to the end of the night. We're like yelling at each other, but we're not yelling at each other. We're talking. We just get louder and louder and louder constantly all night long. And that's why we should have all been politicians, because that's all. Anybody who wins is the person who ends up being the loudest is the person who wins now. Like, you don't even have to say correct shit. You just got to be louder than everybody else.
I mean, you have to aggravate everybody else enough to where everybody else is like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm just done. I'm going to walk away.
Serious question time. Ryan O'Puffs has a question.
Chips or pretzels? I don't know if I have. We have pretzels, but I'm making pizza and wings.
No. I think he's asking, are you team chips or are you team pretzels?
I'm going to assume we're talking like regular chips, just regular pretzels, not like.
No. I would throw them all in there. Yeah, because you could have regular, you could have pretzel logs, you could have sourdough pretzels, you could have those kind of honey garlic pretzel nuggets, you know what I mean? And then you could have chips, you could have Doritos, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna go chips.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Chips, because there's so many different possibilities. And I love pretzels, don't get me wrong, but like chips, they're just.
I have to be in a mood for pretzels. I'm always down with chips.
Yeah.
And honestly, minus one chip in particular, if I'm eating snacking and I got a couple beers in me and I'm eating pretzels, I could do serious damage to the roof of my mouth. Like I could like pretzels can, especially because I like those big chunky sourdough ones that you have to like break a tooth to eat.
Yep.
Like in those, next morning you wake up and be like, man, my mouth is fucked up. Like what did I do? Like chips don't do that unless you're eating Hers salt and vinegar chips. They are caustic. Have you ever had Hers brand salt and vinegar chips?
I don't think I've had Hers brand. What does the logo look like?
HERRS, big and red. Yeah. It's a semi-regional thing. It's not small by any stretch.
Oh, I recognize the logo, but I don't know if.
Do you like salt and vinegar chips?
I do.
I'm gonna send you a bag of Hers. They're so salt and vinegary that they cause like a caustic chemical burn in your mouth. They're so good, dude. They're so good. It's like you eat a bunch of them, you're like, oh my.
They're so delicious.
Oh my god, dude, you have no idea how good they are. They're so good. So yeah, those are the only chips that really mess my mouth up. But yeah. So there you go. Chips it is. Now, if we're talking like super awesome, sidecar of cheese and spicy mustard and a soft pretzel, I don't think we're talking that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's different.
If I went to a brewery and someone said, "Hey, you can have any chip you want, or you could have a soft pretzel with beer cheese and mustard,"
or let's elevate it. You have the choice between like a really nice, well done soft pretzel with beer cheese and a spicy mustard, or a plate of nachos and like the piled high nachos and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Like the deluxe everything. Now, I think that's the equal.
I don't know if that's a decision I can make now, right? That's like a game time decision. That's like where your mind is at that time of day, how many beers you've had, what you're doing.
See, I would go team pretzel on that point because I think the big, huge pile of chips thing is good in theory, but there's always like 4 or 5 like Keystone chips that just pull everything off, and then what you're left with is a bunch of chips that don't have shit on it.
It depends who makes the nachos, because like at that point, they're not layering it properly if that's happening, and sometimes you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would depend where you're going. Like there are a few places where I probably pick the nachos over the pretzels, but other places I pick the pretzels over the nachos. I know the nachos weren't that good.
Yeah, I feel you. Clayton back with it saying, "What do you think the over under on Chris Collins?" We're saying now. Here's a guy. 40 over under 40. I put 40.5 just so we don't have a push. Chris Collins, and here's the weird thing. Most people hate Chris Collinsworth. I actually do like him as an announcer. I'm not saying he. Yeah.
Who? I'm gonna ask. Obviously, Chris Collinsworth.
It's Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah. That's fine. I just really like Romo.
I like Romo, but he seems like my problem with Romo is Romo is really good at calling games, but I think this past year he's realized that everybody thinks he's really good at calling games. So I think, how do I say this? Remember, when Dana Carvey did the impersonation of George W. Bush and then did it for so long that eventually everybody thought George W. Bush sounded like the impersonation of George W. Bush? I think Romo is doing an impersonation of himself calling games now. Like he's like, I gotta do it more. I gotta amp it up. I gotta make it more me. And now he's not just calling games, because he used to be like, watch this. I'm gonna show you this. This is pretty cool. Now it's like, oh, I can't believe they did this. This is insane. Why are they doing that? You know what I mean? Like, it used to be analytical. Now it's a little bit showy. So I still think he's good. But I will say this. Fun fact for those that don't know. Al Michaels never ate a vegetable in his life.
I don't believe that.
Type it in. Type it in Google right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Type in Al Michaels.
Well, just because Google says it, the internet says it.
No, I know it'll be on there.
This diet is defined by childlike pathological fear. Eating a full dinner in the broadcast booth. He eats a full meal while he's definitely has appetizers. What? He must have as a kid. But
yeah, of course. Yeah, no. In his adult life, since he's been like in his teens, he has not consumed a vegetable.
Told me she ruled it. Wow.
How about that?
I have them if a burger comes with a leaf of lettuce, do you throw the lettuce out? I have them replate it. I don't want to have the residue. Sometimes the lettuce might leak a little bit. Isn't that? And then someone asked, "Isn't that residue just water?" I understand, but it touched it. Now, I get that. Like, I don't like raw onions, and sometimes if raw onions touch something, I do get the essence of the flavor. But I'm not. I thought I was. That's nuts. Wow. How do you live? How do you?
You call football games and be rich.
Holy moly!
Yeah. How about that for a fun fact? Bet you didn't think you were going to learn that one tonight.
Oh, wait. Hold on. There's a second article, the second hit. How Michelle Tafoya got anti-vegetable Al Michaels to eat Brussels sprouts. This is from December 19th, 2021.
Oh. Did she lather it in bacon and cheese? Well, I don't trust Michelle Tafoya, though. She's leaving Monday Night Football, a sideline reporter, to be like a correspondent for Owanon or something. Like legit, I'm not joking. Or Newsmax or something like that.
I think there's a video. Oh, it was deep fried.
Okay.
4 or 5 vodkas in, and Tafoya sneaks some deep fried Brussels sprouts onto a plate. Michael said, "It was so deep fried, I thought it was a French bowl."
Oh, so he ate it by accident.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's say Clayton. I was looking for a bet on whether or not Tupac hologram would show up.
I wish I could bet on the hologram.
Yeah. I mean, it is literally my childhood is at the halftime show, which is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Another fun fact that won't matter to many people because they don't know them, but I've talked about my buddy Carl. We used to run a music venue together, and a bunch of us did collectively as a group in the late 90s. It was like a tiny little music venue, like local shows, stuff like that. Like, the biggest band we probably had come through there was like Coheed Cambria came through, and like Hatebreed and stuff like this. But that was like when there were nothing. And then when we finished, he ran it because all of us had regular jobs, and he didn't have a job. And he's like, "I'll just run it." And when it was done, he decided to go to school for audio engineering because that's what he was pretty much doing. And ended up working himself up to where he became like the kind of he's now the sound person for Beyonce. But he straight up. And but he's like one of his he first caught on with Hall & Oates and did a bunch of stuff with them. But for a long time he was Mary J. Blige's sound guy. So he would come back, and that was just like blew us away because we were like, well, I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan, and he was too. So when he got on with her, he's like, this is insane. I can't believe my life is like this. And he would come by and like he'd come by at the time I was working at a tattoo shop, and he'd be hanging out and then phone ringing, sure shit, it'd be Mary J. Blige. Be like, what are you doing, Carl? Be like, yeah, we're gonna go to New York. We're wondering if you're around. Blah blah blah. It's crazy. But now he's like, if you type in Carl Golombeski Beyonce, he's like the sound designer for Beyonce. It's insane. But all that stuff, like all like Dre and not in so much Eminem. Snoop Dogg to a certain extent because obviously when Dr. Dre dropped his that album, I don't know why I'm spacing on it the name of the album, but that with Snoop being on it was more like Dre stuff, Mary J. Blige. That was like my childhood craziness. Joe from the Beer Patrol, Clayton. I saw Tupac hologram shows up and Chris Collinsworth is putz. Hate that dude. Whatever, don't listen, Joe. Beer lineup for the game, all of them. No. Do you have anything specific going on? Nah, just drinking beers. Yeah, it's the game.
Now it's going to be some heady because I didn't expect that to happen. And you just dropped it off, and it's like super fresh, so I kind of have to.
Let's see, the Beer Patrol. Finally, the Bengals have come back to the Super. He's making fun of Chris Collinsworth right there. Sean is the worst wrestling fan. Sons. Matthew Hogan. Chips as part of Bits and Bites. Yes. Chips as part of Bits and Bites. What does that mean? Like put it in sandwiches and shit? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Are you talking?
He sent that twice.
Yeah, but no, he said pretzels parts of Bits and Bites. Yes. I don't know. Oh, maybe he's talking about just randomly here and there? Like not as a main course or something like that. Yeah, maybe that's what he's trying to talk about. But he's talking about soft pretzel versus French fries. Fucking French fries, son. Dude, I don't care what you do to a soft pretzel. If you get really, really, really good French fries, it smokes a fucking pretzel. It's not even close. You give me shit.
You got to get really good French fries though.
No, I'm saying Arby's curly fries will blow the shit out of a fucking any soft pretzel you give to me in the universe.
Oh yeah.
Arby's curly fries will destroy any soft pretzel ever. You can give me an Gordon Ramsay artisanal soft pretzel, but I'm talking about like then you go to waffle fries, then you go to like fucking just those beer battered jams that some places do so well, like fries, man, fucking fries. Oh, and then you sweet potato fries if I'm in the mood. Fucking oh god damn. Yeah, no, it's not for me. It's not even close. Yeah, Joe from Beer Patrol. Hers has messed my mouth up numerous times. One time for 2 straight days, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to taste anything again. Pure numbness. That's the Hers Salt and Vins, man. They're so good. They're so good. Oh, good God. Oh, very important comment right here.
That's a bot.
Yeah. I accidentally clicked on it because I wanted to block him. I do like Collinsworth. Roma literally tries to make a call every play. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's the one thing, too, that he does. He always says, watch this, he's going to do right here. And he misses like 7 out of 10, but he hits 3, and everybody thinks he's a genius because he got 3 out of 7 right. He'll be like, oh, see, they're in this lineup. They're in 11 personnel. See, this guy's going to go over. Okay, they're going to run this play. See, and then they don't. When they don't, he just calls something else. And he'll be like, oh, they tried to go to this person, it didn't work, and this I'll tell you why. And basically eschews the fact that he got it wrong, but when he gets it wrong, he'd be like, yep, see, I told you they're going to that. And it's like, well, you did that 9 times in a row and you missed it. So. Oh,
you changed it, I see.
Yeah, you changed it. Yeah. Pretzels as part of Bits and Bites, okay. Yeah. So what are you doing for the Super Bowl? Just you and the woman?
In the kiddo. She's probably not going to be paying attention too much. She'll probably be playing with toys in the background. But we got actually Kaylee's daughter. She had like a fundraiser where they got like make your own pizza kits from Little Caesars. So we're like, all right, we'll buy some, and our friends some Red Buds. So we got like the pizzas, breadsticks, and some like dessert things. So we're gonna make one of the pizzas. We made the breadsticks earlier as an appetizer. They're not as good as what you get from regular Little Caesars, obviously, but it's pretty good. And then I have some wings that I've been dry brining all day. That I'm going to toss them I'm going to probably either air fry them or bake them. And then some chips, queso. What about you?
We made like a bunch of different kinds of pork. Like I did like pork in the crock pot and did like marinated pork tenderloin and stuff like that. Just like nothing crazy. My wife isn't in the game, so but she's cool just hanging out next to me and knitting and stuff, and then we
Watch
just
the
chit
commercials.
chat. Yeah, stuff like that.
That's how Carrie is. Yeah.
And then and that's pretty much it, man. Like
Yeah.
have a couple beers, like just kind of hang out and. I'm exhausted, man. Like I'm tired. I did so much shit today. I did a ton of shit yesterday. I'm just real tired, and I gotta go back to work tomorrow. So I just kind of want to relax, drink some beers, and just chill.
Yeah. So
You
you
know?
cleared out the backyard yesterday for. I didn't watch the video, but I saw you just in like a she shed. So I imagine you're building.
Yeah, I'm building an outdoor office because that like my little studio kind of area is gonna become Micah's bedroom. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Because I need like some kind of office space, not just for like YouTube and stuff like that, for actual like work.
Yeah.
And can't really put an addition on the house. We have like restricted what we can do here. We had our land called what's called farmland assessed, which is basically it's like a tax incentive. In the sense that New Jersey basically says they'll come and they'll survey your land, and they say, okay, if you guarantee that you'll never turn your farm into condominiums or a strip mall, we will give you this much per acre that you select to be that. So basically, what you do is you draw a map around your living areas, and it's called an exclusion. That basically you could do anything you want inside of that exclusion. But outside of exclusion, you can't do anything that's not agriculturally related. And it's because we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna build a strip mall. We're gonna live here and die here and whatever. We don't care. Okay, give us money. And so it's like addition to house, we could do it, but it wouldn't look right. And I was gonna actually build an office in a barn. Actually just frame out a room in the second, because our barn actually has a second level. You guys were never up there, but it has like a second level to it. And I was gonna put it in there, but I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then it just kind of boiled down to like, I'm like, fuck it, I'll build a she shed. Like I'll get like an office. I'll build an office in a shed. Like a lot of people do it nowadays. So I've been planning it since like November, December, but couldn't really do anything much during the winter time. So I've been just kind of looking for what shed. So I'm buying like a 20 foot by 10 foot like Amish shed. Like they're like 10 foot high at the peak. And it's pretty big. So now it's like, okay, I ordered it yesterday. Like I've been like talking to the company for a couple weeks now. So I actually ordered it yesterday. So now it's like, okay, now I have basically a month and a half to build a foundation for it. You don't want to put it on like on a concrete foundation. You have to actually build you have to frame out an area with like 4x6s, and then put down like dirt, and then put down a layer of like tarp protection, and then put down this specific kind of gravel so it drains properly and all that kind of stuff. And then you basically put the shit on top of it, and then you can run like AC water. Or, I'm not going to do water, but I'm going to run like a split AC system and then electrical and all that stuff to it. So now is just starting the process. So where I want to put it, I want to kind of set it. I didn't want to just plop it on the lawn randomly somewhere. So there's this plot of land across from our chicken coop that it could fit in perfectly, but it's overgrown. So that's what I spent yesterday doing, is chopping down like trees and brush and all kind of, like my arms are all like, I got like fucking cuts everywhere and shit, just like going in there and just basically I chainsawed down all the big shit, and I took my our old mower tractor and just pulled all that shit out of there and got it like clear enough to where I can go in there with like a heavy duty weed whacker, like with the blades on it, the big blades on it, and I like the wire, and just take down everything else to flatten it out. And then I'm gonna have this guy up the street who runs a construction company. I'm paying him, but he's hooking me up. He's gonna come down. He's gonna like level it out with his bulldozer and shit like that and all that. So basically, it's like what I had was, once I pay the shed company, they're like, you're gonna have a shed in 5 weeks. So then, but then it's like, well, now I have 5 weeks to make sure this bed is perfectly built. Because if they show up and they have to put it somewhere and be like, I'm not ready, and they'd be like, well, we'll put it over here. You figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, then
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got it basically once I cut the check to them. And then so I was like, okay, cut the check. So now it's go time. So it'll be fun. And that way, Micah, this is gonna be Micah's room. So that way he has his bedroom, and then I'm out there, and it's gonna be nice. I'm getting like I'm putting like a little loft up there for a bed. So that way, and then I found this really nice cheap, nice sofa used for that's like it's a futon sofa, but it's not like a futon. It's actually the whole back of the sofa comes down, and it's like really stylish and pretty and shit. So that way, if people come over, we have a living space for them. People could stay there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it almost like like a place for people to stay if we have company and shit like that. So it's
if you have electric, you can have like a space heater and stuff for the winter and whatnot. So.
No. I'm putting in a split AC system, so it's gonna. I'm gonna So it's no. This is dude. This whole office plus my whole home theater and everything's going in there. It's big enough to have like my home theater in this studio. It's basically the room.
Awesome.
The room I'm in now, it's actually bigger than twice the size of the room I'm in now. That's how big the shit is. Like, it's like, yeah, it's like, so it's going to be pretty decently sized. So yeah, it should be good. So, yeah, that's what I'm working towards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, man. I'm about ready to go. Game's going to start.
Yeah, I got to go preheat the oven and put a pizza in there.
Awesome. Thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Everybody, enjoy the game. Root on the Bengals, root on the Rams. Root yourself with some really good beer. That's all I'm talking about, right? Come on.
Sports ball.
Sports ball. Say what? Yeah. So we'll see you guys soon enough. Cheers, y'all.